replay, if you're watching the replay, um, um, probably gonna go live a lot this month. I'm revamping the channel, not so much this channel. So um, I'll go live on this channel, but I'll be uploading my new content onto another channel, and I'll be repurposing content and cutting clips for this channel. So if you're interested in joining any lives, I'm going to be on this channel doing live, or at least for this month, possibly next month, maybe the month after. I think the next 3 months I'll be live on this channel while I build my other channel. But I just want another platform, a whole total different algorithm. So I'm looking forward to doing that. What's good to one person watching? Yeah, I haven't been. Okay, I got 2 likes and one person. It must be more people there, but oh, okay, people are just it's going up. What's up, Jay? Big Jay, what's happening, bro? What's good? I'm glad to see you, bro. I'm glad to see the gear in here. Yeah, man, I've been doing my thing, man. I got a little burnt out on this channel. The algorithm games, the way my audience disappeared, and it was like a completely different audience. A lot of stuff could upset a creator. I don't think you guys, unless unless you've done this for a long time, and I'm 8 years into this whole, YouTube thing, you need a break sometimes. And so I took a break this year. I don't think I've been live in like 20, no, 5 months, 5 or 6 months. I think my last live was 5 months ago. But what's going on? What's going on? Um, yeah, I feel like it's probably time to rebrand and just do it all over again. So I got ideas for new content. I'm shooting content right now. I want to get 20 videos out the way so I don't have to make any promises I can't keep. That way they're already pre-scheduled. But when I make my announcement for my new channel, I'll start putting the links to those videos in the community tab. So if you're on my community, just check out my community tab. Make sure you're checking out if I have any new videos from my other channel. I'll always share them on my community tab here. But I'll go live until I can monetize that channel. I'll go live on this channel just to feed the algorithm and let this channel live and continue to motivate and live, because a lot of people are still watching these videos and being helped, even though many of them are 7 years old. Um, and I did content up until about 8 months ago. That was new. So I'll keep this channel alive. I'll always show it love. And I'm going to be going live on this channel for probably the next 3 months while I build my other channel. But I'll always show the new videos on my other channel and my community page. So just make sure you got your notifications on if you're a part of my community, and just check those videos out when possible. But I'll actually be giving advice to men and women on the new channel. So I'm looking forward to just having a mix, and kind of going back and forth, because I originally was going to do that on this channel, and it just so happened that women became 95% of the audience, like way before I could even build a momentum with men. And so they started asking questions, and that's how it kind of became a women's channel. But I actually coach males all the time. I coach gay people, I coach men, I coach women, I coach couples, I coach married couples, I coach a lot of people. I do life coaching. So for me, it's important that the next platform is all encompassing, and it gives me an opportunity to help everybody, and brand it for everybody, as opposed to only being a woman's coach in the optics of it. Even though I do help everybody, I want to make sure that I can give more out to men. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also I've not put the Twitch thing down. I've been working on something, guys. I have something big. I have a big announcement. So I don't want to say too much, but this year will be a content year for me, and I'm doing a lot of content in a lot of different directions. Um, I'm inspired right now. I'm motivated. I actually want to start a nonprofit based on the content I do on Twitch. So I'm really looking forward to just kind of hitting the ground running this year, not even this year, like right now. And so I'll be talking to y'all. I'm hoping, and I know I said this last time, but I'm really hoping to go live about once a day, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes. I just want to be in touch with y'all. And so, y'all know what's going on. And when I do new content, or drop a new video, y'all be able to talk to me directly, and go over there if y'all want to watch it. With that said, I just want to dig into these comments, man. Whatever y'all want to talk about tonight, it's on. Um, hey, friend, what's going on? What's going on? Rasta Tarot. I'm into all the weird spiritual stuff. So now I got to check out your channel. Do you do content? But yeah, Big J, you get a gear on my new channel too. So immediately I got to get you a gear, bro. Um, hit me on Instagram, write me. I don't know what you be switching channels. You be having two and three channels. I never know where to find you on Instagram because I don't know which platform you be using. But write me on Instagram, man. We gotta link up because I got some other stuff going on, and I want to make sure that you a part of it too because you just always been supportive, and you represent men real well. So respect to you. What's going on? Hey, hey, hey. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm surprised YouTube gave me even the 38 people watching. The last time I went live, I might have had 15 people. I don't know if I went live during the week, if people was working or what, but I went from having 400 people on every live to randomly 20 people. Now, I pissed the algorithm off somehow. Um, hey, Kev, we just spoke. Oh, yeah, you do the nutrition coaching. I was looking at your Kara Mia. There's not a lot of people here, but she does really cool nutrition coaching. She's a master level nutrition coach, and she's on my Instagram. So check her stuff out. Drop your at Kara, so everybody can see where you coming from. But she's really good at helping people get their stuff together, and so I'm gonna be looking at her content when she starts creating more, because she's also taking a break. But and I should have shaved. Generally, generally I get on here and I make sure I'm shaved. I make sure I've brushed the grease off my teeth and all of that stuff. I just jumped on today. I'm looking a little wild. But I'm saving my haircut till Monday because it's a big week for me at my job. And I've been working this year too. So there's that. But I got to kind of ration my haircuts to make sure I'm fresh for Mondays because I got to be in front of a lot of people. So that's why I'm looking crazy today. I got to wait till Sunday night to cut my hair, so I'm looking good. Even so, the Tarot Raven, I should have taken your advice before I got pregnant with my a-hole BD. You tried to warn me. I'm positive I did. I usually do try to warn people, and nobody listens to me. Well, some people do. Out of the thousands of women I've coached, maybe hundreds have listened to me, which I suppose is good. You know, you get about 10%. Some people are really gifted and really coachable in that way. And then other people have to bump their heads before they start listening. Um, and so sometimes it's hurtful as a coach to watch people you care about, people you love, because generally I love people. Like I really genuinely, from a real place, love people. And I really care about my clients. And so watching people kind of bump their heads over and over again on the same rock, it can be a little bit disheartening, not just for them as they're not proud of themselves, but for me too as a coach. I always said I was a coach that did content, not the other way around. So I really do care about people, and that's a little bit uh, okay, bet on B Shadow say he didn't change. All right, cool. I know you got a couple of them though, because I'm on a couple of them, or at least I was at one point. Um, but I get with you, bro. Yeah, you should have taken my advice. But look, all is not lost. You have a beautiful child, I suppose, and you have a blessing that you have to deal with, and you get to raise, and you get the privilege and honor of being a parent to that child. So um, just give the love that you were missing. Give the love that you were denied to that kid, and do whatever you can do to make sure you maintain a healthy relationship or non-relationship with your baby's father. Somebody said, "Hi, God bless you and your family. Taking best care of yourself before giving others is a must." Yeah, I didn't. I'm one of those people who will do. I won't have a lot to give, but I'll give everything I got, and then I'll be depleted. I'll be tired. I'll be run raggedy, and I think YouTube specifically, not including like the coaching, but just YouTube. And then if you add the coaching and you add all the things that I give, because I'm here because I believe I have a gift, I have a purpose, I have an assignment. And I didn't deem myself important. I just think that what you can do for people, what your talent is, your gift, your abilities, you need to use them to help others. And so I really take that responsibility seriously. And in doing that, sometimes I'm so focused on that goal that I forget myself, and I'll pour from an empty cup, and then I'll be running on fumes, but I'll be still trying to give to other people. So this year I'll try to ration it a little bit better than I have in years previous. But I've not always done bad at it. It's something you always have to relearn. Whatever your gift is, you give it freely and lovingly. but eventually you overgive and you need to step back. And so that's just one of those things. And it doesn't just extend itself to people who are in service to other people. It was literally everything. You can get burnt out on anything. Um, let's see. Yeah, guys need you too. Absolutely. Well, I've attempted to help and reach out to guys with our Fatherhood Village initiative. Me and Deshar or Deo Holloway, my guy. Man, guys stumble upon great advice. They don't necessarily look for it in the same way that women seek it out, and so it had been we're not doing it at the moment, but it had been really hard to grow Fatherhood Village. In fact, out of the 1,000 subscribers we even had on our YouTube channel, probably 800 were women because men aren't looking to be corrected. Women, on the other hand, maybe because of conditioning, take better to correction. They sometimes seek it out when they feel themselves to be wrong. Men will take it from men they respect and admire already, but you can't be a random saying, "Hey, I have advice for you." That's not how men just operate. And so, in trying to give advice to men, you have to approach it a little bit differently, and or they have to discover you for another thing. Excuse me. So I have a really great advice on how to reach men of all ages on Twitch through streaming, and so I'm looking forward to that. And I also have a nonprofit I want to start from that platform to help people in their day-to-day lives with their money issues, and so I'm really excited about just doing that. Like my dream in life, my biggest, most overwhelming, most powerful, most emotional dream has always been to just step in, help people, and step out and go help somebody else. Find a stranger to help for whatever reason, to love without cause, right? That's what I feel like my job is. And when you're living a regular life and you're not rich or famous or any of those things, it's difficult to do that because you always think, well, I need I need money. I need to be rich, right? And so consequently, throughout my adulthood, I've chased having more money or having more rich or whatever that might look like. And I've done well in some years and done shitty in other years. I'm having a very regular person year right now. I'm not doing terrible, but I'm not enjoying myself because I've experienced having a lot more to do a lot more for people. And so, because I'm normal and I'm regular, I've always thought, well, man, I need to go get rich. I need to go do something that makes a lot of money, and then I can give money to people. I can go pay single mothers rent. I can go buy young men who are doing everything right, that car that they need to get to that job that is way too far from them, that they take 3 buses for, right? I have all these like these visions of myself giving great things or solving the financial issues of people who are on their last leg, who are losing hope, who just need help, right? Who don't need another excuse, who don't need another person trying to figure out why they're in that position, if they deserve help. I just want to give, right? And I want to be able to give financially as much as I give spiritually, as much as I give emotionally, as much as I will give advice, and I'm no holy roly, but the Bible says, pray for your brother, but help him, right? Not just give him thoughts and well wishes as we always hear in the media. And so my dream has always been to put myself in a position to do that. But it just clicked to me that you didn't have to give, right? That phrase just came to me at some point recently. You don't have to give. And so I started thinking about like one that unlocked to me. I just started seeing all of these options I've had to always do the things that were bigger than my bank account or my pocketbook for other people, and I can do it through content creation and also helping people in a way I already help people with life coaching, but doing so on Twitch in a different tone that I would talk here. Right, Kevin has a few different gears. You guys get very calm, very mature, uh, very contained. Uh, Wise version of Kevin. That's not the only version of Kevin. Kevin is as gifted and as passionate in different ways as he's displayed here. And so I'm looking forward to being different and showing that portion of my personality, of my personhood, and not having the same strains and constraints and chains on my personality and or my depiction of thought or wisdom or growth or help or evolution in the same tone, right? Sometimes I cuss a lot. Sometimes I yell. Sometimes I'm a little bit fierce. I can be kind of intimidating. I can be a lot to handle energetically in person. And so you guys get the most conversion of me, usually because I'm in an empty room just talking to a camera. That helps. But a lot of times I remember I'm talking to a majority group of women. I want to make sure that I don't do anything that causes them to feel like I've just beat them up, because we know a lot of content creators get off on being rough with women, and I don't respect that, the rough intention. But sometimes the message is rough by default, and so for young men, they take a lot better to that, and some women do too. But I can talk to men in a much different way than I can talk to women on a regular basis. My baseline can be a lot higher and a lot more intense with men than it can be with women, and I can still have my effect and get my message across in a way that it will kick men in the ass. That might be a little bit harsh for some women, especially women who are already sitting in a dark room crying. Like, so I'm just respecting the different audiences. I want to build a different audience on Twitch that I can help in the same or a similar way, but also start a nonprofit. So I'll do the nonprofit across all my channels, but Twitch will be where we go to really help people. I want to bring people together to give in a big way to people who really need it, and we'll find people to help and we'll give to them. So that's what I want to do. So that's one of the down the couple of months goals, or I'm filing for the nonprofit like now, but that's one of the down the line goals. And y'all forgive me, I'm getting over a cold if I keep coughing. Even so, back to these comments. I'm running my mouth, but congratulations on your new journey. Well, thanks. I'll postpone accepting congratulations until I've done something that I can be proud of. Hold on one second. I got a cough. I'm gonna mute myself. All right, I think we good. But yeah, yeah, put me on your community page. I appreciate it. Say you look fine. I'm really raggedy looking right now, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm got a haircut. I'm not shaved. It's just I'm looking crazy, but I'm clean. I showered today, so I might look like I'm raggedy, but I'm still presentable. You gonna send me a hoodie? I'll take a hoodie. Please give me a hoodie. And we're already having a conversation on Instagram. Please send me a hoodie. I love hoodies. I love hoodies. I'm a hoodie collector, so you can't give me a bad hoodie. Divine Readings Tarot says, love your advice. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. If you're doing content, Divine Readings Tarot, write me on Instagram. Anybody who's a content creator, write me on Instagram. Like, I really like connecting with people, especially when they're small. I've helped a lot of small YouTubers, small content creators when I was really popular. Like, I can achieve similar heights even from this channel if I put my mind to it. But when I was really popular, I wasn't one of those YouTubers who didn't answer the email. I did my best to answer everybody's email, and I might not have been able to follow through a lot, but I always try to figure out how to help somebody when I had the time. And it's only one of me, and so I was pulled in a lot of different directions at the height of this channel. But I always still show love. I'm not funny acting. So if you're a content creator and you wanna link up, or you want to collaborate, or you just want to talk, um, just hit me up on Instagram, at kevhick24. That's still the code. Um, Ruthless, Ruthane, I'm sorry, 7 said, I listen. Well, like I said, there about two out of 10 really listen. And so, if you want to change your life, you have to do something uncomfortable. And in general, that is either listen to wise counsel, or seek wise advice, or just do the things you know in your heart to do. I'm no more wise than the people who are, I believe, wise enough to seek wise counsel. Right? I don't put myself above people who come to me. I think the key to success in anything, though, is, while I might not put myself above the people who come to me, the people who have success after coming to me aren't necessarily always getting Kevin's download of wisdom and being smarter have it because they talk to Kevin. A lot of times I'm just telling them what they already know. I'm reminding them of the voice inside of them that they've been ignoring, right? I'm not always giving you new information. I'm just pulling it from the depths of your spirit and giving it back to you and showing you a mirror. Hey, you already know this. You already do this. You already felt it, right? So sometimes it takes me to do that. So it's just, I really love what I do, and I love the coaching aspect. I've never stopped coaching. See, y'all think that because I'm not doing videos, I'm not doing coaching. I can't stop coaching, right? I'll probably coach until I'm dead, to be quite honest, because I love helping people. So I'm still coaching, still active. Kevhick.com is the website, KEVHICK .com. So if you need coaching, you need life coaching, relationship coaching, excuse me, or dating help and advice, book a call. The calls are actually on sale today. So calls are $75 if you book them this weekend. They're $75, and video calls are $90, I think. So for those of you who have a budget to help yourself, or if you want to gift a coaching call to somebody else, please be my guest. Love and respect. Ruth Ann Seven said, "I do have a gift. I appreciate that. I like to try to honor it as such." Good to see you, Kevin. Hope all is well. Yeah, all is good. I'm inspired and I'm motivated. And so I feel better than I felt in the last few months. Everybody gets their turn at lowliness or darkness or tribulation or trials. I feel like I've had my turn. It's been my turn for about 5 or 6 months, and so I'm an introvert already. I'm already kind of to myself. I talk a lot online. I can host parties. Like I can turn on and people think that they're looking at an extrovert, but I'm actually an introvert. I need like 6 days alone in silence after I do a lot of stuff socially, especially with my new job where I have to be at events and talking to a lot of people. So it's just one of those things. But I got my turn at life, right? Life be life, and y'all. And so in helping people through their problems, I don't always have a person necessarily to turn toward mine. So I go through mine a lot slower than some people might go through theirs if they had my help. Somebody said you're a great example of true leadership, and we need more leaders like you. I appreciate that, Lisa Lack. And I think more people have the gift and more people have the ability. They just don't see it in themselves. And so my job as a life coach a lot of times is to show people who they are and what they're capable of. Give people that faith in them that they haven't developed in themselves by showing them and proving to them that they are already enough. And that's not through bullshitting people. It's through legitimately helping people discover what their gifts are and how those gifts could be put to use so that they can be what they already are, what they already naturally are, without thinking they need to become more to go be great and give that to whatever they're passionate about. Somebody said, "Oh, where are you on Insta?" On Insta, I'm at KEVHICK 24. Kevhick 24. Kevhick 24. 24 the number like Kobe. Hello, Queen Keisha. Love and respect. I have a zillion guys around me. That's not a bad problem to have if they respect you. Kevhick is the best dating advice. I think I'm all right. I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good. But there are a lot of wise, very gifted people, very gifted minds. I think the difference between whatever I might do versus another person who's as capable but isn't at what you would consider as good, I think the intention to really truly love people is not always present. Some people are doing content from their ego. They want people to see how if smart they are, how wise they are, how gifted they are, and so they make really entertaining content, and they're showing you how great they are. I don't necessarily want you to, I don't really care if you see how great I am. My point is to show you how great you are. My point is to show you what you're capable of, what you can overcome. And I think that intention is what people connect to, not necessarily because I'm more gifted. I'm not the best speaker in the world. I'm okay. I'm articulate enough. I'm not the most witty, most quick person in the world. I'm the last to get the joke sometimes, right? So that's not what is happening here. I'm really a C level at a lot of the things. There are people much smarter than me, much more gifted, but the intention isn't there. And I think that trying to figure out how to be your best from a real place for the benefit of others will always give you that, you know, the air that you're being effective. So maybe that's why I'm effective. But I appreciate it. More women, more women. SK advice. Maybe that was a typo. Yeah, we're gonna do more women advice. This channel, I mean, it's 640, 640 videos on this channel. We got plenty of women's advice, but On the new channel, I'll go back and forth. Every other video, men, women, men, women, men, women. So I'll nurture both audiences. Um, Somebody said, I think they all need help. All the men around you, they don't seek advice if they don't have good mentors in their personal life. Correct. Men generally look toward their mentors, the ones they already know, for advice. They don't know me. They don't want to listen to me. Tell them, hey, go be a better person. Screw less women. Be nice. Like that. That's not how men interpret. You have to attach to a man. You have to attach to a man's ego and sense of masculinity, some level of power, some level of oomph, right? He has to feel stronger after listening to your message. He has to feel more empowered. He has to feel more emboldened to be whatever he wants to be. Women usually look for this advice coming from the place of having disappointed themselves or being disappointed. That's a different motivation. So that makes them more receptive to advice. Even for men, on my Fatherhood Village channel, me and Deo would be talking to fathers about committing to their families, doing things in their community. Pick the thing. I'd have women in the comments, women following us, women writing us, talking about how changed they were by us giving advice that was supposed to be intended for men. Because they're looking for that advice while men are looking for empowerment and a more masculine level of camaraderie, brotherhood, and support that sometimes is hard to establish from a high horse or pedestal if that's what they perceive. And so it's just different. And it's the younger men are a lot less susceptible, just like the younger women. Um, say I mentor one guy. Yeah, I've mentored a lot of guys in the past. I'm not mentoring any men right now at the moment, but I've mentored many. Some older than me, some younger than me. Boy, this cough is not going nowhere, y'all. I've been messed up for like 2 weeks. I'm still gonna do these lives though. All you need is an internet following these days. Yeah, if people have an internet following, it's already assumed that they're qualified to speak on what they're speaking on, and to a degree, if they're gifted and if the intention is there, God's gifts are without repentance. If you put some hard work behind the talent, you could be everything you want to be. You don't need to be asked permission to be what you are, but having a microphone kit from Best Buy doesn't make you a coach. And it doesn't really mean that you need to be talking. Some people need to be shutting all the way the fuck up, but they have a microphone kit, so they be talking. And so there's that. A following of people look at the numbers and they see thousands of people following somebody, no matter how foolish or stupid a person is or how irresponsible they are with the information they give and the things they spew, the things that fall from their lips. If they have thousands, thousands more will come. You can get a grant to start a nonprofit. Oh yeah, I follow this person that does a lot of grant talk on TikTok, but I don't know if I'll get to it before TikTok is banned or whatever. But to your point, I'll definitely look into a lot of grants when I get the paperwork back from my nonprofit. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be oh, I can't call. I won't tell anybody what it's gonna be called because I don't want to lose my the ability to. I had to go pick a different name, but we getting into the nonprofit. So if you want to help, you want to give, you want to help people pay their rent, you want to help people fix their car, you want to help. Like I want to do those types of things that alleviate the pressure from someone's everyday life because life is hard for some people, right? And life gets hard for all of us at some point. But some people are just given a double dose, right? They're given a little extra, and we don't get to pick our problems, but I would love to be able to pick the solutions and be a part of that. And so I'm looking forward to that. It's what I've always wanted to do. If I could get to a point to where I can just give and help people every day for 8 hours a day instead of working a job, I definitely do that. Um, or Ruthane7 will promote. Yeah, hit me on Instagram, Ruthane. Connect with me on Instagram. We definitely can talk. I'll tell you this though. I will need. I have I have something coming up, something that is going to, I think, has the ability to help uh, dating culture tremendously. But I'll need shares. Um, I have an app coming up that's going to be pretty great. If everything works out, we're in the last leg of this thing, developing this thing, and if create this app or get this app, I think it's going to be amazing for dating culture for the people who utilize it. But I'll just need people to share it. It's not. It doesn't. It won't go anywhere unless you get to. There's a 10,000 view or 10,000 user threshold that you have to kind of get to that point before your app triggers the algorithm and triggers really any opportunity in an app store or in the world, like in general. Like if you don't get to 10,000 users, you just wasted your damn time building and paying for an app. And so when I release the information and when it's time to go, I really just need people to care about, trying to figure out how to help share. And a lot of people don't share my content because they're ashamed to need it. I've been told that numerous times. Oh, your content doesn't share. They say your content doesn't share well, Kev. I don't normally, or I have followers that have written me pages and pages of, "Thank you, you changed my life." But I say, "Hey, can you share my video?" Because they got following. And they say, "Well, I don't normally share that type of stuff." So it's like, okay, cool, I feel you. And most people just don't want to broadcast to the world that they're having trouble in dating or love. So I understand it, but my app is a little bit less damning, and so hopefully they can share my partner and I's app. It would be helpful. Somebody said you're asking the Lord to make you a distribution center. To make you a distribution center. Yeah, I want to distribute help, and I don't want to have to depend on money I make from any social media platform or my job. You know, I don't. While most people wouldn't assume anyone like myself is corruptible, I've not been corrupted, but I don't want to find out if I'm corruptible. I just want to be. I want to be taken care of over here and do this thing I love, which is helping people and being a responsible financial steward for my business and my nonprofit. And I obviously it's my nature to do so. I'm a very trustworthy individual. I haven't stolen anything since I was 7, and I felt so bad. I felt so bad. I gave it back. I stole a '57 Chevy Hot Wheel when I was 7, and the next weekend I snuck the '57 Chevy Hot Wheel into the toy chest of the very rich kid that I took it from because he had 3 of the same ones and didn't even know it. I lined him up. I said, "Did you know you had 3 of these?" He was like, "Oh no, I don't even care about Hot Wheels." And so I stole one. And then I felt so bad throughout the week. I brought his Hot Wheel back the next week. And that was the last time I stole something. So there's that. But I'm looking forward to the responsibility God puts on my shoulders to really help people in a financial way that they can be touched immediately and affected immediately. Because people need relief, y'all. I'm gonna get to these comments. I'm doing terrible on these comments right now. Oh, can y'all hit the like button if y'all in here? If you've not hit the like button already, tell YouTube I'm happy and we're happy and we're having a good time. Okay, let's dig into this. I think that when we do our part, I think when we do our part to change the world, we are doing what is in alignment with our highest selves, and that can lead to such an abundant and fulfilling life. Absolutely. I've had a lot of fulfillment and a lot of abundance by just operating from that portion of myself and attempting to change the world, to change the dating culture, to change love culture, or at least to be a positive point or a light in the dark room. And I feel like my most successful years, my most abundant years in every way, check all the boxes, or when I was operating from that point, that identity, my highest self, that portion of me was making all the decisions. That's true, and that's true for anybody. We all love Kevin's. Thank you for your wisdom and consistency. I appreciate you. Exactly. You calm on here. Yeah, I'm very calm on here, but that's not the only speed. I'm just calm on here. The laid back content creators are starting to get rough on women for views. Um, Probably so. I think conventional wisdom tells you and teaches us that people have to feel something. The reason I never went viral and I never got as big as picked and hell, thousands of people have passed me up at this point is because I don't trigger people. You need to make people feel. And so, unfortunately enough, making people feel gratitude is a powerful feeling, but it's the only feeling that doesn't lead to virality. Okay. For whatever reason, gratitude just doesn't do it. But if you piss people off, the people who hate your guts will share, will comment, they will give you a thumbs down. The algorithms don't care if you gave it a thumbs down, it's all engagement. The people who you despise, the people who clearly despise you, the people who don't respect you, when you engage with content that pisses you off, you actually promote it. And so, come and watching my videos the fourth day I put it up, not seeing it the first day, because you know it's going to be good advice and you'll save it for the weekend when you need a warm moment, but then not sharing it, not hitting the like button, not leaving a comment. Like, I can make people feel good, but I didn't make them feel enough to share. And so, to your point about content creators, the laid back ones being rough on women for views, that's that. I think that if women, and this is you're gonna hate me for this, but I think if women were more supportive of content creators like myself, who were kind of like the guy in the friend zone or the brother, then y'all wouldn't see this problem. I'll have to say something very honest. With love and respect to everyone here and everyone who's been in my audience who really appreciated my content in the past, women are more likely to treat me like the guy in the friend zone. They'll take from my channel, but very, very, very few give back. As a good Samaritan, to if you look at my views, I'm like 40 something million viewers, for 40 something million views. Of those 40 something million, I might have met 100 people who appreciated my content enough to like throw something on me or at me or support me in any way outside of just watching or sharing. Like, I probably got thousands of shares out of millions of views, but I'm like the guy in the friend zone because I'm helping and I'm to a degree, people use me energetically for what they need. Sometimes they need advice, sometimes they need validation, sometimes they need correction. But no more nor no different than the guy that you don't like or don't want to sleep with. How you kind of utilize that relationship for the good it brings, but that's not the person who you're going 100% for. You're still going 100% for the guy who treats you like shit, or the guy who likes you or says he likes you and treats you like crap, or the guy who's had sex with you and didn't call back. Like, think about it. The same psychology it takes to be in an abusive or cyclically abusive, tumultuous relationship, the same intensity of toxicity that causes people to keep coming back because they feel something. People do that with content. That's why their algorithms are set to enrage you. If I can piss you off with the algorithm, I can keep you on the site. But if I don't piss you off and I leave you just peaceful enough to be able to think clearly, you're going to get off the site. Unfortunately, with my content and content creators like mine, who, and you've seen people now start to be rough with women and because they want the views, man, sometimes doing this content will have somebody poor. If I don't got other stuff going on, if I didn't have other stuff going on, I would have been poor out here waiting for y'all to support me. You would believe it would surprise you how little support a content creator might get for just helping people be better without any viral comment or some crazy dating coach loses his mind moment. Those are the moments that get people famous, not you just being good to people in a way that doesn't trigger them. And so I can understand why those dating creators have been corrupted. If we want to keep people from being corrupted, we need to start supporting the real instead of sharing viral videos that piss us off, sharing bad news, always sharing rage baiting content and things of that nature, sharing foolishness that people just complaining about. Like, that's what we share. That's what we support. Those are the million view videos, not videos like mine. And I'm okay with that. I've made peace with it, and I'm gonna come like I come. But I'm going to talk to men a different way than I talk to women. And so that's my thing, is that I don't have the same tone when I talk to men. Um, because if you stick me in a room, I'm a leader in that room, even if men are in there. Even if it's a room full of men, I still have the propensity to lead when necessary and follow when necessary, right? So my masculinity doesn't extend itself and stop at the feet of women. But I don't call on the same portion of my personality to talk to men as I do with women. But those creators are just having, they're probably they're a lot more bitter and hurt by the lack of support, because everybody tells you, oh, these content creators, they make these videos, women just be giving them money, women, they just, what is it? Oh, they capitalize off of people's misery. There's no capitalization. There's no capitalization. That's why I had to go back and get a job. Y'all would have had me out here homeless. Capitalization. And I had 370,000 subscribers. Capitalization. Well, people were just making all kind of assumptions. People hate good people. Have y'all noticed every time someone shows up and they are genuinely a good Samaritan, there's a bigger crowd saying I bet they're fake, waiting for them to do something that they see as evil or vindictive or nasty. Like the crowd waiting for the downfall is bigger than the crowd supporting the good individual. We live in a culture right now where people literally get mad at somebody for doing a good deed in public, but nobody gets mad at a rapper for throwing money at a stripper's ass on video. Nobody says, oh man, he should stop doing that. He just wants us to think he's rich. But if somebody gives to a homeless person and they make a video about it, just like, oh, you shouldn't do that on video, that's lame. I think we need to create culture around helping people and loving people. That's what I got. But let me see. I've completely neglected the comment section. I ain't been talking in a minute, so I might be a little bit rambly. Ruth Ain't Seven, I would love a collab. On Instagram. We can make that happen. What's the topic? I don't know what the topic is. I'm about to start answering questions. So whatever topic you want, I'm done. I'm about to just try to answer some questions. Let me say. Um, Everyone on this platform are not even wise. No, everybody's not gifted. We just have microphones. Some people just have microphones. I appreciate you inspiring me to start my TikTok page, Kev. I appreciate it. Kelly Mills, you got a TikTok page? Hit me on TikTok or hit me on Instagram. Let's dig into it. Queen Keish said $75. Yes, cars are $75 today. They're on sale, down from 97. Um, and if the economy doesn't get even better, I'll probably keep them at 75. But they're on sale right now for just this weekend, so don't expect them to stay. But if I can get my other channel monetized, I might drop call prices for other stuff. But my calls are I'm a coach, so my calls are a part of my budget. So I make sure that I'm compensated well for my time, because at some point I'm sought after. Goddess, hi Kevin. How do you handle professional integrity when a nice guy at work visits you at work daily and seems to like you? He's a social worker, by the way. He's so kind. How do you handle professional? I guess it depends on if you like the guy. And I'm happy you made it through the darkness, Kevin. Thanks for your courage. I guess it depends on what you want to become of it. If he's a nice guy, you want to leave you the hell alone, then there's a different answer than if he's a nice guy, you actually want to get more personal with. And so there's that. Um, get give Put some more on that question, but it might be a while before I see it, because these comments are I'm behind on comments. But I'm gonna come back to your comment question. Give me the context though below. Jay, you ever thought about helping matchmaking, since you already made a platform? I don't know much decent good men, but I always say that you are always the best. You the best to do it. I think that my announcement, if people just support my app when it comes out, we're not going to have as big a problem, and I think that it will contribute to matchmaking. But I think that people make their own matches a lot better. Matchmakers are quitting across the country. If you haven't heard, matchmakers are tired of people being so picky that they won't even spend time to discover people. And I'm gonna be honest, most of the matchmakers are complaining about the ladies. They They have they don't want to settle, and people in general, as they get older and more experienced, don't want to settle, but it causes them to get further and further away from their goal. If your goal is to find love, then you have to prioritize love, not perfection. You have to give people space to be imperfect. You have to give people grace. You have to make room for things that might be less desirable, to get to the thing that's more desirable, which is healthy love. And I think that sometimes people get in this mindset because you can see everybody online. You can look at all these perfect people online who you can imagine are perfect partners, and you imagine that you're settling for somebody who doesn't feel like the person or the idol that you've created online. And so a lot of people, when they get these matchmakers, they pay this money. Matchmaker gives them 4 or 5 good, decent matches, and more than likely, a lot of them play the same games with the guys they got matched with than as the guys that are in their inbox that aren't getting messages read. So matchmakers are having difficulty because of the culture of just kind of throwing away people before you discover them. And it's not just women, but the matchmakers have. There have been plenty of articles at this point written by matchmakers and dating coaches quitting because of what they say are women's rigidities. And as a dating coach, I'm 4,000 clients in, most of which are women, 80% are women. The rigidity does get in the way of a woman discovering her soulmate. And while everybody else can see it, a person who thinks that a man has to be this or that before he qualifies doesn't always see it. And so there's some sad cases that I see all the time as it relates to that. But to your point, Jay, when I create or when I finish this thing and we get this app up and running, or announced. It's already up, but we're working through some things. But when I get this thing announced, if y'all help me get to my first 10,000 users, if y'all really spend time with me, giving me feedback so we can make improvements and things of that nature, I'm working with one of the best app developers in the country, like one of the top app developers in the country. It's going to be amazing. I co-own it with them. We have some it's really integrity based. I think it's going to make dating a lot better for people, and build community around dating as opposed to this swipe culture that we have now. But like I said, I'll give you the details about my app here pretty soon. We're gonna sit on it right now. But yeah, I co-own it with a guy, and it's gonna be awesome. So just support. If you can't if you can't get on the app, at least share the app. That's all I need. And share the app, share the video, share it all. Pineapples, like swingers. Maybe I don't know. No offense. Hi Kev. This guy asked me out, but I wasn't ready at the time. 3 or 4 months later, I reached out to him and told him I'm now ready. We only have each other's Instagram info and we only text. But I want more. I want him to call me, but I want him to call me because he wants to, not because I want him to. I didn't set up this type of expectation since day one. I don't want him to become comfortable with me. He might want to call you. Have you ever thought of that? Like, if he tried to talk to you and then you told him after a while, okay, I'm ready now, and he's still like, okay, cool. He doesn't want to be the nice guy. And again, I can't speak for him. This is just a scenario that could apply. He might not want to be the nice guy. He's already kind of got put on the back burner by you, and while you picked him back up, it didn't feel like respect. It didn't feel like consideration. It felt like, oh, she blew me off, which is cool. Like he probably completely understands, but to maintain his self respect, he's gonna probably go slow, and let you come to him. And that's just how men are once they feel like they've been rejected by a woman. You don't want to be chasing a woman. She tell you, "Oh, hold on," put you on ice for a few months, then pick you back up, and then as soon as you get interested in her, you start calling her. She's like, "Oh, girl, bugaboo," and then stop talking to you again. Like you can't recover from that. So a lot of times, guys take their time. So I think if, and this goes for any woman who's rejected a man who was serious in his intention to get to know her, not her body, but her. When you have given that to a man and you had a change of heart and you feel like yourself is ready, you're ready to discover him in a serious way, it's actually important that you verbalize or affirm that you have a real genuine interest in trying to figure out what things look like between you two eventually, or however you would word that. Your words, not mine. A man needs to hear that, hey, you're allowed to like me. I like you now, and I want to figure this out You're allowed to like me. You won't be too nice. I won't categorize you as a nice guy. I won't blow you off. I take you serious. I respect you. I respect your time. And I hope you feel the same way about me. Like that, you have to affirm, you have to say something. Because if you don't, all he can do is remember when you rejected him and played him and put him on ice for months. He's never going to want to come forward too quickly. And then he's always going to kind of take you with a grain of salt because he doesn't trust you. You have to develop trust by being a little bit more expressive with guys that you've put off before. Otherwise, you get some of these dickheads who finally get the girl and then they play her just so they can get that sense of manhood back that was taken from them because they don't respond well to rejection and they're immature, right? That's how it happens a lot of times. But when you're dealing with a healthy minded man, even he'll like take a step back. He won't necessarily come forward all the way when you say, okay, I'm ready now. He'll be like, all right. And you just had to come to him until he knows that you're serious and you respect his time and you respect the energy he's giving you and that he's allowed to like you without being categorized as some kind of soft guy because women always make these false equivalencies. Girl, he's available. He must be soft. Girl, he treats me like a queen. He must be soft. Like he gonna get his ass kicked because he's nice to you. Like he can't whip somebody. Like he ain't gonna do something to a dude. Like he's not a warrior because he's treating women like respect. Women make a lot of false equivalencies, and men are always aware of that. So most of the time, when they finally get an opportunity to talk to a woman who's put them off, they come with caution, and a lot of times they just kind of sit there lazily because, or it looks like they're being lazy. They're really just trying not to mess it up, and they want that woman to actually have some interest, and they need to see that interest. So if you're not going to show it through your actions or enthusiasm, then you have to verbally affirm it so you can remove that trauma from him that he has of you rejecting him. I hope that helps. All right, man. 51 minutes in, we finally getting to the advice, y'all. Give me them questions. We doing it. She said you're describing me exactly. I don't know what I said, but I must be on point. What do you think about Pop the Balloon channel? I'm not sure. I've never heard of Pop the Balloon channel. I don't actually watch dating content, relationship content. I think that some people are brilliant, and brilliance has a way of permeating your subconscious, and you start saying things thinking you made it up. I wouldn't want to accidentally get to re-delivering other people's advice and because I do this like for a living, like I'm a coach, right? I don't watch the content because I'm doing this. A lot of people are content creators, so they instead of coaching people for hours a day, they curate other content creators to make sure they're making the most viral videos. So my videos are never going to be the greatest videos, not the most entertaining and anything like that, but just because I'm a coach that does content. I'm not a content creator trying his hand at coaching. And so to your point, Pop the Balloon channel, I don't even know where to start. I guess I have to Google it. Why don't you, if you write me on Instagram, send me a link to Pop the Balloon channel. I check it out because you asked. Maybe it's some stuff that needs to be debunked about Pop the Balloon channel. If you're asking about it, I would love to clear up any misconceptions or any bad advice, but I've never heard of it. Pineapples, and to put his best foot and not put his best foot forward. I can't stop thinking about him. I don't know what to do. I think you need to just have a real conversation about, why you weren't ready before, why you might be ready now, if he takes this seriously or if he's just kind of humoring you because, he doesn't have anything else to do. Like, really have that conversation. I think sometimes women are avoiding of the conversation, and the conversation is what's going to set you free and or fast forward your relationship. So let him know, hey, I don't really know how to take or interpret your pace now because I felt like you were more interested in turned you down, and now we're kind of in this place where I don't really know how to act, and I don't know if you know how to act or this is just how you feel like acting, but these are things that I was hoping to try when I came back. Is this possible? Because I'm taking you seriously and I respect your time, and I hope you do the same for me. Hope you respect my time and things of that nature. Y'all, please hit the like button so YouTube sends this video out to some other people. But like I said, pineapples, I hope that helps. But it has to start with a confirmation or affirmation that you are interested and serious this time, so he can remove from himself that trauma that he has from you neglecting him and or rejecting him the first time. I feel like people aren't serious these days in dating. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people aren't serious these days in dating too. A part of it is the structure of online dating. A part of it is how the conversations are structured. and how many hundreds and hundreds of conversations you've had that started and then you didn't finish, the people ghosting people in the comment section or in the inbox, the people just not knowing how to type out a conversation to a stranger because it's weird and it's awkward. It's hard to be interesting. Some people have a lot of anxiety as it pertains to, what to say to a person in an inbox, right? It's hard not having something to start a conversation about. um and then it's also hard because, to be quite honest, men have an experience on dating websites where if you email 20 women, you might get three back, maybe. And that's if you're red hot on fire. Unless you're the guy who has the beautiful picture because he just has the most perfect cheekbones and the most perfect hair follicle arrangement. Like, there are some men who are just insane, ridiculous, attractive, and everybody sees it. Even other guys are like, man, this motherfucker, man. Like, unless you're one of those guys that women immediately like, the men who have to talk to get women to like them, sometimes they don't know what to say. And a lot of times they experience so much rejection and get played with so much when they try to hit women up online that by the time they get to the conversation, they don't trust that it's here to stay. They don't trust that a woman's doing anything but humoring them, because they've had 100 conversations where a woman just never responded after the first time. Not to say that they didn't say something stupid, but men and women are having the same experience with trauma as it relates to the inbox messaging strangers and having these dead end conversations. Um, Man, I'm really excited to tell you guys about what I got planned. I'll be getting into details soon, but what I'm developing in partnership with my friend is really going to be something that's going to really have an ability to change at least that part of how dating works online. So I'm looking forward to it, but we'll get into those details. Y'all just stay tuned. Um, I'll be going hard on content regardless, y'all. But if we finish this thing out, then I'll definitely be giving you this beautiful tool to try to fix the way people date. I just need people to get on it and support it and give us feedback so we can make improvements so we can do this thing on large scale. It's expensive to run an app, y'all. So you gotta figure this out quick. Um, I feel like people aren't serious these days in dating. No, I think a lot of people are serious, but they're just tired and they don't know where to start and they lost hope. People still need love. Most people still want to be cared for. Um, that doesn't make them healthy. I mean, there's that too. We're not even digging into if somebody's healthy enough for love or if they provide healthy love. But more people are serious than you think. It's just that we don't know how to meet each other because we don't feel safe with one another. Men meet women, women meet men, and we both just assume the other one can't be trusted, is full of shit, isn't serious, or won't like us. We dismiss the relationship before it even happens. I talk to men, I talk to women. They're both mad at the same shit. They just don't know how to come together and be vulnerable enough to trust one another or attempt to like one another openly and honestly. And women do have that complication where if a guy likes them first, then it's a wrap for his ass. They gotta like the guy first, and I don't know why that is, with wiring that is, but I wish the Lord would wave his finger and change that because it'd be a lot easier to fall in love if women didn't have to like the guy first. If they could just kind of respond to the nice person, well-intentioned man liking them. That's not how it normally works, unless he looks like Michael Ealy or somebody, um, or he's sexually aggressive and kind of an asshole and has some power and money. But there's a whole other thing. Again, that's not all women, but it's enough that men have come to expect it now, which is damage their hope for love. Can't wait till it gets to your question. Jay, you know I'm slow as hell at these questions. Um, You are the best. Appreciate you. They do respect me, but they're woo, woo. Y'all must have dropped these questions an hour ago. Male empowerment is important, absolutely, and I want to make sure that I contribute to that. But I empower men to do better and be better, and it starts with just speaking to the lion and all of them, but also um, guiding them to make decisions that will benefit, society, not just them. Um, well, I'm getting advice from people. I know online, and it isn't going, it isn't go, isn't go know you. I don't, what you say online. I don't. You got to rephrase that. Um, what is your advice rooted in? Is it your upbringing or education? Your advice has been super helpful in my marriage. Well, thank you, Tori. I appreciate you saying that. I love working with couples, and even if a lot of couples just watch my videos, they don't have to, they don't get my services, but they watch the videos, and that helps them. My advice is rooted in I'm just being what I'm supposed to be. I think my assignment. I, I don't know. My first prayer was for wisdom, and it continues to be one of my only prayers. So, not I really like the story of Solomon, and so I think that God has honored my request in some way, and He's given me the ability to help people sift through their own issues, and I have issues too, and so I'm not a perfect person, but I definitely have the sight to see how things can be, and I speak to the improvements people can make in a way that they can understand and identify with. But my advice is rooted in the respect of my gift and the respect of my ability, and trying not to corrupt what God has given me. There's a story in the Bible where um, a young man is given a fortune, or he's given pick the sum of money, five gifts, or it might be gifts or a fortune. I can't remember now. It's like he's given five gifts, and at some point God comes back, or his father comes back. I think it's actually a parable. It's about a son and his father, and he gives him these five things. I can't remember the story, but it kind of resonated with me when I was a kid, and so I've since forgotten it. But he came back. The father comes back, or the son comes back at some point, and he has the same five gifts that he was given. He didn't multiply them. He didn't divide them. He didn't subtract them. Might be the prodigal son. I don't know. Not that one, but the other one. But he didn't do anything with the gifts, right? And there was no honor in that, right? There are people who send out with five gifts and come back with less. So not only did they not multiply their gifts, but they squandered their gifts, right? Then there are people who are given five gifts and come back with 10 gifts, right? They multiplied what they were given. They did something with what God gave them, and they were responsible with it. They were good stewards of the gift. They were good stewards of the abilities and the talents, and the purpose, and the responsibility that they were given. And I feel like in my mind, and I can't remember, I'm butchering the story. I'm probably mixed 4 or 5 Bible stories at this point. But I keep telling you, I'm not a holy roly. I just remember the point. Um, the gifts for me have been able to I'm able to show people who they are, what they are, and what they're capable of. I'm also able to help people see solutions through the darkness. I'm able to help people um, fully appreciate what they already have to such a degree that it empowers and emboldens them to be great. Um, my gift is just rooted in my gratefulness and my thankfulness and my gratitude to God for me being a person who doesn't have to struggle with certain other things that I've seen. I grew up around addiction, so I was just so excited to have a mind that doesn't struggle with that. To being given an avatar that doesn't have to be chained by crack, drugs, alcohol. Pick the thing. I don't. Those are not my vices. Um, I don't really actually have a lot of vices. I don't really have procrastination. I think is my my vice. Um, but to your point, my advice is just rooted in trying to give people an experience of God in real time, because that's all of our assignment. You don't just go be like people think, oh, you should be a pastor. That's not the only way to give people God. It's not the only way to show people God and to let them experience His love. A pastor is an assignment. Everybody doesn't have that assignment. Some people are teachers, some people are preachers, some people are pastors, some people are helpers, some people are ushers, some people are like there, and that's we're just talking about church, right? There are assignments in church, but in the world there are even more. There are millions of assignments. There are people who have gifts that you would never have believed was a God-given gift to affect change. I just respect my God-given gift, and I accept my assignment to help others and love others and help them and help pull them from darkness. So that's what my advice is rooted in. Sorry for the long answer, but I'm verbose. I don't know how long you've been watching for a long time. You know I talk too much. And so yeah, in respect to you and your husband or your marriage, your partner, I'm thankful that my gift has been able to help you guys sort out whatever, iron out whatever. But it's just about me honoring, who God created me to be, and I like it. I accept my gift humbly, and I'm excited about who I am. And so that's what it's rooted in: a love for God and appreciation for God energy. Um, but why men listen to rappers to sell drugs or be gangster, they don't know, or drug dealers? That's a good point. So we were talking earlier about how men don't necessarily go seek advice in the same way women do. And she's saying, why do men listen to rappers and gangsters about being gangster and sell drugs? Because it appeals to their masculinity. So even I can listen to rap music and feel more powerful, more bold, more inspired. I'm not inspired to go shoot nobody or kill anybody, me personally, but that's what my spirit's powerful. You're not going to trick me out of my position. But I use music to manage my moods and or my intention. There are certain artists that if I need to feel aggression, if there's some kind of challenge that I feel like could go there, I could listen to a couple of rap songs and feel like, okay, let's fist fight, let's make a fist fight. I'm always kind of there on the fist fight part, but most of the time I'm just gonna do the right thing and walk away. But there are certain times where a man needs that. He needs to be able to be ferocious. He needs to feel like a lion. And I think that whether a man is selling drugs or being gangster or doing anything, rap music specifically makes you feel more like a lion. It puts you in your warrior spirit, or at least it ushers in that emotion behind the warrior spirit. And sometimes it can be very negative and very dark. You have to go to a dark place to be a warrior. But I think that most men, because we don't go to war and we're not in these situations and we're not in tribes in the middle of Africa, spearing each other and doing whatever to protect our territory. The instinct in us to be warriors, even if we're not capable, even if we're the puniest, shittiest little punk ass guy ever who would never do anything, we still want to feel like warriors. That's why you see the weakest dudes you ever met in your life still listening to music and they feel tough while they're listening to it, because we have to have that stimulated. Like that's a part of our instinct as men, the warrior spirit. And so I think that the most innocent meaning and the most innocent way rap music is used is just to ignite a man and reaffirm his warrior spirit, so he feels himself to be masculine. Even so, they're not looking for advice that subdues that, right? And when you give men advice, if you listen to motivational tapes, like for a time, and a lot of times I listen to like motivational speeches on YouTube if I want to like work out and I'm not really feeling it, or if I got a goal and I don't know if I'm gonna do it, or I'm not really like hopeful, or I feel less faith at any given time. I listen to a motivational tape or something like that. Some motivators yell and like they're forceful. It's like, get off your ass and do da da da. It's like, oh yeah, get off my ass. And you start barking because that's how they have to talk to that part of you, right? And you have to feel like a lion. And so it could be that, or it could be somebody doing something nefarious in the streets. And so men are looking for that triggering of the masculinity in them. And sometimes, hey, stop sleeping with all these women. Stop putting your thing in all these women. Get your shit together. That don't necessarily make them feel more masculine, me telling them to do that. Right. Y'all stop lying to these young ladies. Like now if I start cussing and fussing, sometimes I can trigger it. I can get some yeah. But most of the time, trying to tell people to just do right ain't gonna put that fire in them. And so you got to speak to what they want and what they desire, and what they desire is success. What they desire is respect. What they desire is a higher position. What they desire is to be seen and heard and valued for more than what they can prepare or provide for a person. They want to be seen and heard and valued as humans, and whether regardless of whether or not they're providing for a woman or have money and all the different things that social media has told us a man must provide, or he's a worthless piece of crap who needs to kill himself. Um, so that's kind of why men are listening to rap music, but they won't necessarily listen to me say, hey, you know what? Stop laying down with these women you don't love. You're hurting their feelings. Like they ain't even trying to hear that crap. That's fine though. I'll find another way. In my boyfriend just came up overnight with a lot of money. Hmm. I'm entitled to know where he got it from. Am I entitled to know where he got it from, especially if he wants to cohabitate and get married in the near future? Yeah, I think if he just hit a lick or did a kick though or something like that, and he was pulling a lot of money in, and you're gonna be in the passenger seat with him, and then the damn car gets shot up, you probably should have knew where that money came from. In fact, I know somebody who was with somebody, a young lady, who came up with a lot of money. Took him out shopping. He had a ball with it. I don't think he found out where the money came from. And then it was a shooting. And it was almost a double murder, but it was just a single murder. But to that point, that person's still paralyzed. So things happen when you don't know where the money came from. So please find out where the money came from if it was a substantial amount before you cohabitate with that brother. You don't want somebody into some stuff that's going to get you messed up. Love your work. I appreciate it. But I have a question. I've been single for a year and feel ready, but not always how to, but not always how to date without being triggered and taking things out of my past guys on new guys. I think that sometimes just because you're triggered doesn't mean you need to do anything or say anything. And I think that part of the work is as you're going through things, you need to have a notebook. And I don't give a damn if you call it trigger notebook, but you need to have a notebook and kind of go back and double back, check your feelings against the facts, what's being said, how it made you feel, and where that emotion comes from. It might take you a few weeks or a few months even to catch the exact moments or the exact things that are triggering you. And but once you do though, it's easier to explain to people once you start getting close to them how to help you in your recovery by avoiding these things or just giving you grace in the way that you might immediately respond. But you have to feel those feelings and move through them. You're not going to not be triggered. The key is to learn how to manage being triggered until you're no longer triggered because you've assigned the wrath and or the responsibility for those comments back to where it belongs, to the past, and you can respect and learn to love and trust the person in front of you. But that's a learned behavior. Trust is learned. So you're going to be triggered by new people you don't trust and affix them to emotions of people that you haven't been able to trust in the past. The problem with that is assigning the responsibility for that onto the new person. They can't be held responsible for your old stuff, but you still have to learn how to feel that feeling and function through it. And so I would definitely do at least a trigger notebook while you're going through things, and when things are triggering you, you have to figure out, check the trigger against the facts, but also have any conversations relevant to how you need to be handled by the new person so that they can step lightly and not mishandle you, because people generally do what's worked in the past. For instance, women like men who are aggressive. Sometimes they want to feel like they're being, ravished and then taken in a way, not taken, taken, but they want to feel like they're with a strong masculine male that's kind of animalistic and primal in his desire for them. That some women really like that feeling. Then there are other women who can't stand a man who's too aggressive, who grabs too hard, who grips too hard, or who doesn't allow her to dictate the pace. Some women have to create all of the sexual energy because if it's created by a man, they feel like consent is being taken away because they've had some experiences. I say all that to say it's not a person's responsibility to know where you've been and what you've been through. It's your responsibility to navigate that and give them the tools as to not mishandle you, while also letting them be what they would naturally be, so you can make a decision about if they are qualified, good enough, and or a good compatible match with you. So your triggers are your responsibility, but partners in partnership collaborate with you and cooperate with you to try to help and aid in that healing process. But you got to give people grace unless they know what you've been through. But again, and that goes in all different directions, not just we're talking about sexually or physical abuse, but just in general, triggers are your responsibility, but they can be navigated. And you can learn to not be triggered through repeating those same things that might have triggered you, working through that emotion and realizing that it doesn't apply here. So there's that. But if you want more specific advice without being me being general, just book a call or hit me on Instagram or something. Um, Let me see. I ghosted him after sex, first time, to protect my feelings. He is not looking for anything serious. He texted me asking me, do I still mess with him? I left him on red. Will he leave me alone? If you want him to leave you alone, just tell him to leave you alone. It doesn't sound like you respect him, um, or whatever version of love he's or relationship or screw ship he's trying to give you. So if you don't value him, just let him go. Just tell him, hey, I don't, I'm not gonna talk to you. Leave me alone. Let's not talk. I don't want to talk. Not interested. I would much rather you do that than randomly, when it's convenient for you, respond to him, and then he start to give you that animosity back in the little stupid things he does and says, and then he passes that energy into another woman who's not disrespecting him at all, because he's learning to distrust and have disdain for women through women playing with his feelings. So there's that. Sometimes the trauma that women get, it belongs to other women, right? We're talking about triggers. These men are also very triggered by women, and what you're seeing in a lot of these men who are neglecting, ghosting, all of these things, they've been through that type of stuff, and eventually they just get tired of it and they want to be the first to do it instead of be the victim all the time. And men are more likely to become warriors than women after war. A woman will hurt, she'll sit in a dark room, she'll cry, she'll watch a few thousand YouTube videos, she'll come back out and she'll give love to another man. A man, after a couple of times, you got two or three times to hurt a man, he just becomes a warrior, and the opposition becomes women. And it's not women's fault specifically, but I mean, you want to be on the receiving end of good karma. So please handle people accordingly, with love and respect. Um, mm, Hi, you're the guru. I had a tearful breakdown while driving today. I'll be 44 on Sunday, and I'm still single, taking care of my 16-year-old son that has special needs. I feel like men are turned off by it. Yeah, I think having a special needs child, I have a special needs child, is very difficult, extremely difficult. In fact, I read a study that said special needs parents receive an equivalent level of stress hormone, and it's equal to or comparable to war veterans who are combat veterans. Um, so that's how much more stressful it is to have a special needs child for the span of that person's life or your life. It's equal to like bloody combat. Um, Even so, from one special needs parent to another, I can tell you that I've met men, seen men, known women, um, multiple people who've had older special needs adults, young special needs children. They've been able to find love. But again, you have to prioritize love. This idea that you're settling for this or settling for that sometimes gets in the way. And again, I'm not pinning that on you. I don't know what you are looking for and how selective you are, but I know that love exists for everyone. It just does. Whether or not we squander it, ignore it, swipe right on it, or whatever the damn direction that says no on Tinder or whatever, we don't always catch it, and we don't always prioritize the right things, and we always think that settling is, oh, he's not tall enough, or oh, she's not got a booty fat enough, or oh, he's not got enough money, or oh, her hair's not long enough, or oh, her forehead is too big, whatever the hell the thing is that we think we're settling for. I'll be honest, as a relationship coach, dating coach, I've not seen a person settle for healthy love. I've not known a person who thought, oh man, ugh, I can't stand this healthy love shit. Ugh, I can't wait to go get me a woman who got a big booty and then cheats on me with the homeboy at work, her work husband. You know what I'm saying? I have not met too many people who once they get healthy love are like, oh my God, this sucks. Right. Now we do meet people and see people who just fall out of love or who never love their partners but do it just because they know that that person's nice or good. But I don't know. I just don't think you can settle for healthy love. That's just my opinion, especially after watching all the people who chase sparks and excitement for as long as I've had for now 8 years coaching. You're not, a temporary relationship full of trauma is no comparison to what people would consider settling for someone who's going to be there, who loves you, who helps you, who supports you, who collaborates with you, listens to you, sees you, who considers you. Like, I don't know. So anyway, the point is, um, you being 44 with a special needs son doesn't mean that you don't get love as well. You just have to be intentional. Most people with special needs children stop trying, they stop going out, they stop showing up, they stop doing online dating. They just don't do the work anymore because they're so tired, they're so exhausted, and they're so hopeless. So I would pray and hope that you keep your faith. I would pray and hope that you continue to meet men, continue to have great conversations, and continue to take care of yourself. I'll say that people hate when I say this, but man, when a woman is heavy, she reduces she reduces her dating prospects by at least half. So if you're not in your best shape, it's not that special needs child, it's not you being 44. It's you not being in your best shape and men looking at you and only assuming it can get worse, not better. Really, the psyche of a man is simple enough in that respect. If a man sees a woman who's already doing bad in her physique, his mind says, "Oh, she can only get worse if she's not fixed it by now. It's going to get worse and worse." You start to assume all these health defects and all of these, terrible, terrible things that are going on with people, and so you don't want to give a man that subconscious programming that he's not going to have a good life with you or a healthy life with you. Happily ever after is the hope and the goal. And so, to that point, be 44, have a special needs child. None of those are as damning as you just not taking care of yourself and being in the best shape that you can be. And we're not talking about the best shape. We're talking about your best shape. Men want your best. They don't want the best. And that's a misconception. And so, with love and respect, you didn't mention weight. You might not even have a problem with that. But it's as important as a man's pocketbook, ladies. So that is something that I would consider. You have to be at your on the top of your game if you have a 40 or if you have a special needs son, not being 44. I don't know who these men are who want these young girls. 44-year-old men are single. They want women their age. I don't understand. Stop thinking that everybody's looking at you talking about, oh, you over the hill. You're 44. You over the hill. Like it's a man that's your age out here over the hill too. And as soon as you go down to the local college and try to tap on something, and she tell him, "Damn, you old. What you listening to?" He gonna come right back to you and realize he was shouldn't have been down there in the first place. Men want women that they relate to. Period. That they can trust. So don't worry. Your age means absolutely nothing, but your weight. If you said I was overweight with a special needs son, then that's more tangible than I'm 44. Men, contrary to popular belief and manosphere talk, men don't give a damn about you being over 44 if they're over 44. And I know some men in 34 tap you up real nice and marry you. Like I've known a lot of different people. Love comes in a lot of different forms, and people have different things that they're prioritizing with love. So don't think that you're out of the game just because you are 44 years old. That's bullshit. Or have a special needs son. I think that there are people who understand that and can learn to love it. And if you join the special needs support group, you might find another special needs parent that understands what you're going through and doesn't mind joining you in the journey to raise your child. So there's that. Um, but it don't have to be over to you or for you. That's not. Don't tell yourself that. Let me see. I'm healed. She said I'm healed over and over. I just don't want to get played with or naive like I was in the past. Basically, how I develop trust with someone. How do I develop trust with someone? Trust is a learned behavior. You're not supposed to trust strangers. Strangers danger. Stranger danger. Don't trust strangers. Trust is a learned behavior. Um, what you need to do is focus on learning their behaviors, accepting what they give you, observing what they give you, and moving accordingly. Eventually, you'll realize what's them and what's in act. But again, trust is a learned behavior. You're not supposed to give trust. You're just not supposed to mistrust for it without cause. And so I think your battle is mistrust. But trust takes a long time anyway. Um, Let me see. When you let him know, rage baiting. Oh wow, I must be really behind on these comments, y'all. Somebody said that's why rage baiting works. Let me skip down here to the they're talking about sharing my content. Okay, cool. All right, bet I was making sure I didn't. Um I thought I had lost a bunch of content comments. I did lose some. Uh, somebody somebody said, Jay, you have a channel too? Oh, I did lose a lot of comments. Um, Let me see. Jay, don't you do? I know you do music. Do you do acting too? Is that what you're saying? You got a script to a sitcom you on? Yeah. Hey, the dating app is gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. I'm gonna be sharing it very soon. Like I said, I'm gonna need more than 57 shares. I'm gonna need 1,000 shares. My first goal is 1,000 shares, and so I don't know how I'm gonna get my 1,000 shares, but we're gonna figure it out. But I'll give y'all the information on it. Should you date for marriage or date for fun? You should date for marriage. Um, if you date for fun, you realize you're just dating for fuck. Essentially, that's what fun is. Fun and fuck are synonymous to men. If you say fun, if I meet a woman and she says, "Oh, I'm just looking for fun," in her mind, she said fun. When I meet her and she says, "I'm just looking for fun," I hear, "Oh, I'm just looking for fuck." I almost hear it audibly, and I'm not. I'm married. I'm a coach, and I've coached so many women that when they say, "I'm just looking for fun," it almost comes into my ear as fuck because that's how men hear it. Men don't hear, men ain't listening to y'all talking about, oh, I just want to laugh. I just want to go to a game. Oh, I don't know, paintball, whatever the hell. When men hear fun, it basically is fuck. It's synonymous. So please be very careful with how you present what you're looking for, especially when you're having that conversation. So what you looking for? Oh, I'm just looking for fun. In his mind, you just said you're just looking for fuck, which is why these men are so aggressive with y'all on these first dates, acting like he's knowing you. Um, Cut fun out your vocabulary if you on the date with a dude and you actually looking for something. If you're looking for marriage, I would just look for partnership. Look for partnership that has the potential to be marriage. Um, because if I go on a one date with you and then I know you're looking for marriage, if I go on a second date with you, it appears to be a commitment towards your goal of marriage. And so you don't want to give somebody a complex by thinking every day I show up with you, I'm getting closer to a marriage because that's too much commitment to put on a stranger's shoulders. But let them know you're looking for serious partnership and find out how they believe about marriage and where they stand on marriage and if they believe in it and if that's something they aspire to one day. That's how you do it. So you date for partnership, not for fun. And I wouldn't necessarily date for marriage from the get go, but just make it understood that you believe in marriage and you think it's valuable and important and it should happen within whatever amount of time you believe a marriage should happen. Hmm. Music can uplift. Music can empower. It can absolutely do that. She says she hangs with audiophiles. Oh, you hang with you if you hang with audiophiles, then you've hated a portion of probably many years of my videos. My videos have not had the greatest audio. I do got a little microphone I'll be using on my YouTube this time, so that'll help. My white videos I had a really good microphone at one point. I got a Rode microphone somewhere around here. Um, I might do a few more white videos. I don't know what I'm gonna. I don't know exactly how I'm going to distinguish the two different channels, but I will. But if you hang with audiophiles, I'm sure that they have a lot of issues with how my videos sound. Jay said I hardly listen to super hard music anymore. To be honest, that's just me. I still get a lot of inspiration from Nipsey Hussle. So if I want to get myself into like into like a go mode, then I'll listen to Victory Lap. Most of that album puts me in a like a ferociously ambitious lion like go getter mentality. Sometimes I listen to gospel music if I just need to make sure I restore my faith and give myself faith for a day, and more worship music. I'm not a praise music type of guy. I'm more of a worship music type of person. That Spirit Leads Me song is fire. That Spirit Lead Me, where my trust is without borders. Uh, like that song is fire. Like them white people did that. They did that. I still want to hear the Mississippi Mass Choir do it like black people do it, but that song is fire. So I've been listening to that song for hours on repeat when I need faith or when I need to start my day with the belief that things can happen and be done. Um, but yeah, music is powerful. You use music for what you need it for. Unfortunately enough, a lot of these young shooters are using music to get amped up to go bust their switches, whatever that means. Um, Jay said, just yesterday I was trying to record something I wrote down when I was feeling the most down I felt in 15 years, and it was hard to spit that. I had to cut that shit off. I said, next song. Yeah, you really have to identify emotionally with the music, whatever you're listening to. But to the point, I can listen to some hard music and not and be inspired by a completely different energy in it. Um, and like I said, I have a quiet warrior mentality, and like, I'm so contained a lot. But there's a part of me that's always on fire, like always ready for war. Like so, that part of me identifies with some of the harder music too. I just don't like hearing it and knowing that the rapper is actually a murderer. That's too much. Like like I used to like some of the sounds that King Von's music was creating, but when I figured out he had killed about 7 people or more, I didn't want to listen to that because it was like at that point you're ushering in the demon that was in his body, like into yours. So I just stuff like that. Like I don't want to hear about all the killing. I like some of these people are so talented that they don't realize what they're doing, how effective it is. But I think if King Von wasn't such a kill crazy murderer, and he wasn't an actual killer, he was just doing music, the sound of his voice, he could have been a superstar and he was going to be that anyway. But I'm kind of glad he wasn't because the demon behind all of his real murders sits and lives in that music, attaching itself to other people and other young minds. And so 10 years of King Von on top of the rap game would have been problematic and murderous. So yeah, music is powerful. It's spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Everything is alive. Sexual chemistry is very important. Yeah, it's very important. But I think to a degree, it's hard to discover it in a safe way outside of love. And so, are you willing to put love down or leave the person you love if the chemistry isn't there? Or do you love them enough to develop it? I think it can be worked on. I think it always can be worked on if you have two willing participants. Kev, I'm 28 now, and I was watching since I was 21. Damn, we've been here for a minute, ain't we? And your level-headed advice helped me so much in my life and dating. God bless you and your work and your work always. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, we've been here for a minute. We've been here for a minute. Margarita, we've been here for a minute. Let's see, never went viral. Never had that moment. I didn't piss the people. I didn't piss enough people off. All I would have had to do was do one crazy video where I said some crazy crap to women, and then it would have been popping from there. And all I had to do is insert some insulting crap to women, specifically black ones, every once in a while, and it would have been millions of views for whatever reason. But that's not that's not what I am. I don't even. I don't understand these people. How some of the things fall from their lips. Self hatred is real, y'all. Let me see. There would be less traumatized men and women if we would follow the commandments. Potentially. Um, I don't know. Do I know all the commandments? Not in order, but I don't. I can't think of outside of bear false witness, lie, cheat, steal, kill, glutton. Um, there's most of the commandments are they're cool, but the law, we can argue about the law versus grace. Even so, I think the law should be observed and not occasion to sin. I get that. But I don't think the commandments specifically would address all the behaviors that people are complaining about in the dating world and having trouble with. Now, if everybody stopped having sex with strangers, there a lot could be accomplished. So, to your point, the commit adultery, fornicate on the commandment list, yeah, 100%, we could get a lot done with just keeping the keeping your pants in your pants. But beyond that, much of the dating culture is people's sense of self-preservation and their emotional sense of safety, and that lack of vulnerability that they have, sabotaging their relationships before they develop. Man, oh, I got resting bitch face, y'all. Well, I'm scrunched up the whole time. I've been looking like this the whole time. I need to look down more. I'm looking at looking at the camera. I need to look down more. But to your point, Lisa, at least the fornication, if we could get rid of the fornication, it would be a lot more, much more helpful for healthy love. Um, but I'm sure that would lead to a different slew of conditions that maybe need to be addressed after that. I just now know what I want, and not within his looks. If he doesn't have it, I'm moving on. And it's not within his looks like if he doesn't have it, I'm moving on. Yeah, I think that as we get more experience, we get more selective, and sometimes that can be a thing that helps us, but most of the times it just takes us longer to find what we're looking for. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing, I suppose, as long as you find it and stop and don't quit before you find it. The problem is most people get very selective and then they quit because they get tired of not finding the special thing that they're looking for. The purpose of the commandments is to help protect our soul from unnecessary trauma. 100%. 100%. But dating specifically, there are only a few commandments that attach themselves directly to dating, is what my point is. But yes, the commandments can be very helpful, um, especially the relationship related ones. Um, should I tell him what I'm looking for on the first date? Will this help me avoid men who are not ready for something serious? I think the better thing is to ask him what he's looking for. And then when he answers it, ask him to elaborate. And when he elaborates, ask him for more. Um, yeah, you can tell him what you're looking for, but women say a lot of things. Men respect actions. Men are not listening to what y'all say on the first date as it pertains to what you're looking for, what you're going to accept. Hey, he has to see you doing and being those things. So if you say you're looking for something serious and then you screw him, he probably won't think that you're looking for something serious, or he won't think that you're trustworthy with something serious. And whether or not he was with you having it as as sex in as well doesn't matter. Trust is developed through observing a woman be loyal to her own standards. That's how men learn to trust women. They watch and see if that woman can trust herself. And a woman who can trust herself, a woman who abides by her own standards and doesn't change the rules because she likes us, that's the woman that a man wants to marry, wants to be with, and immediately starts to trust, learns to trust. We don't trust the women who say, "Oh, you're special. I normally don't do this, but I usually don't do this, but now you're on your knees and stuff like that." We don't trust the women because you can like anybody. There's always going to be somebody handsome, more tall, all the things. Pick the things. Uh, you're always going to be able to find somebody that you can desire as much as us or more than us. So just because you like us a lot and you do something that you normally wouldn't do, that doesn't make us like you more. That makes us distrust you because there's always going to be somebody better than us that can now make our woman do whatever he wants her to do because she likes him. And she doesn't normally do this, but this is a special occasion because she wants him. Stop doing that shit. That's the bigger thing is that whether or not you tell a man you're looking for something serious, he needs to see that you're serious in your actions and in your non-actions with him. Keep your boundaries. But yes, you can tell him what you're looking for. But if he don't see it in your subsequent actions, you wasted your damn breath. He won't listen to that anyway. He'll be like, "Oh, you looking for something serious? You want respect? Cool. He's gonna be grabbing your booty and trying to get your pants down, and he'll find out if you meant what you said." Um, and again, that goes for everybody. Ms. V, just V. I don't. I never took French, so I don't understand the two dots over the E, but not assuming that you do anything. Yes, have great conversations and meaningful conversations on the first date, but that shouldn't be your first conversation. You're supposed to be having phone conversations before you get on a date. You got to check a man's temperature, figure out if he's crazy, figure out if he can talk, figure out if he's invested, if he wants to talk. So there's a oh thanks. I got a 2.99 super chat or a 1.99 super chat. I forgot all about super chats, y'all. I ain't been on here so damn long. Woo. Um, let me see. Well, I'm looking for the super chat. Hold on. Brother Kev, we're so grateful for you. May God bless you and your family. So I appreciate that. Leanne, love and respect. Thanks for the super chat. I've been on here 99 minutes and 35 seconds. See my first super chat. I appreciate you. My first super chat in 6 months. 6 months. Is it a bad idea to take a man back after he cheats? Um, there's most people would say, no, girl, leave that man. He cheated. And to a point, that's fair advice. It depends. It depends on why he cheated, the condition of your relationship when he cheated, how he cheated, how long he cheated. Oh man, a lot of factors. It depends. Case by case basis. I'll give you an example. Thanks for the 13.99 super chat, V. You must be in Canada because it dropped it to 12.02, which means you're on a different currency. But I appreciate you anyway. I appreciate you, V. And if you got a question, put it in super chat. But if I've met a lot of women who got cheated on, and that's the first thing they'll tell you. Oh, he cheated on me, girl, and you like, oh, cheater, bad, bad, bad. She won't tell you that she ain't slept with the man in 7 months, that she weaponized sex, that she don't cook no more, even though she's very capable, can cook. He grew to love her cooking. He committed to her for her cooking and her sex and her nurturing, and then she cut those off, right? Um, she might not tell you how she's betrayed his trust in the past. She just say, "Oh, he cheated." Um, we have people are complex, and so I don't think that you should take a dishonest person back who's perpetually and cyclically dishonest. I don't think you should take a person who had an affair back. Um, but cheating and having an affair sometimes are two different things. Cheating can be without intent. Cheating can happen in a moment or a night. First of all, and still most likely no. But there are sometimes extenuating circumstances in a relationship that calls for a little bit more judgment than, oh, he cheated. He's a dirtbag. He's always going to be a dirtbag. Um, I've known people to be in dead end relationships where a woman thought she was controlling the relationship through her sex and through her refusal to perform the duties as a partner. And the man just got tired and said, well, fuck it. I think I'm going to leave anyway, but I don't have the heart to leave. So I'm just going to force myself um, to grit and bear it until she goes, but I'm gonna go act like a single person because he felt disrespected, he felt ignored, he felt unloved, he felt not desired. And of course, the responsible thing to do is, hey, I don't feel this relationship anymore. We should break up. But we know people are gonna people. So in those relationships, two of you were destroying your relationship together. You have to look at what the relationship was. Is there real love there? Was it boredom or was it betrayal? Was it heartbreak? What led him to think, you know what, I don't value this woman enough anymore to be honest with her, or I don't value her enough anymore to say no to other women, right? That's a real question we have to ask ourselves. What did we contribute to our relationship before our partner cheated? Even so, I see far too many women taking responsibility for the man just being a whore, right? So there's a balance. To answer your question, I do need context before I say, "Oh, he's a shitbag. Never talk to him again." But 80 80 times out of 100, about 80% of the time, you shouldn't take them back. About 80% of the time, it's stupid to take them back. But there's about 20% where these relationships are tumultuous in two different directions. Um, so you disrespect him all the time. You talk to him crazy. He loves you to death. He doesn't want to be with anybody but you. But he can't get no respect from you. And if he can't get no respect from you, he doesn't want to desire you sexually. He starts to resent you. He loves you, but he resents you because you talk to him like shit. That guy cheats. That could be a trauma response. That could be him trying to feel more like a man, trying to reestablish his masculinity, trying to feel loved or desired by somebody, trying to get an emotion besides indifference or non-acceptance. Like, of course, he's not a victim. You cheat, fuck you. But we're human beings and people are going to people. So there, in some cases, there are more to consider than that. I would have to know exactly what was going on in your relationship at the time, and many times from both perspectives. But 80 times, 8 out of 10 times, don't take them back. But 20 out of 100 times, there's a shared responsibility in the condition that became the relationship. So there's that. I hope that helps, but it probably doesn't. Um, Love and respect. CA, thanks for your honesty and all you do. Is that V from? I'm not gonna say your real name, but is that? I think I know who you are, especially with the Canadian. Hope you're doing okay. Let me see. True, in some situations, we are screaming, telling them no, don't take them back at all, unless not anytime soon. Like Cardi and Offset. Yeah, they just had a tumultuous, wacky relationship. That's different. They was doomed from the start. He was just a whore. Like she shouldn't have took Buddy back because he was just cheating. he, he being sloppy. He just hitting the fine chicks. That was a little different. But some people have real good relationships, and then there's a breakdown in trust, and there's some trauma, medical shit. People go into situations in their relationships where one person becomes a caregiver, and y'all don't know. I've talked to people who have had to take care of their partners for 1 or 2 years, get them through cancer and stuff like that. And for 2 years, your partner's not the desire of your sexuality because they have no desire. They just want to live and survive. And while you love your partner more than life itself, and you're caretaking, wiping their mouth, wiping their ass, doing everything for them because they're hospitalized and they're in bad shape, you still have desires and you still have needs as a person, right? I've seen a lot of people go through stuff like that, or a parent dies and that person just completely shuts down because they have to caretake their parent, and they don't resume being a partner for the years that their parents are sick. Like it's a lot of stuff that happens out here, y'all. It's not just oh man's cheating or woman's cheating and this and now I'll be honest, I would never take a woman back who cheated. It's just the guy in me. I can't. But I've seen cases where I could say I understand why a person would. Um, but I'm not a cheater. My wife's not a cheater. This is not a thing that I'm challenged by, and I don't want to be humbled by the Lord. So Lord, please just let me give the best advice possible, so I don't need to be taught any lessons. But 8 out of 10 times, you shouldn't take them back. 20 out of 10 times, there could be extenuating circumstances. CA, love, Lova, or Lova, I'm sorry, Lova, 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 CA, Canada, 13.99 super chat. I appreciate you. You put me up to 22. I'm winning. I appreciate you though. We've been dating for a year and he's perfect, but a mama's boy. Like she visits him every week and stays there for long periods. We're both 33 and want to get married. What should I do? It's a bit too much. Okay, so mama's boy. This is interesting. Um, his mama coming and visiting him once a week, as even if she stays for 3 or 4 hours, shouldn't be too much for you. That could be 3 or 4 hours. You do the things that you want to do with your life. You got hobbies, you got friends, you got people. Put those things on his schedule so he can visit with his mom. I don't think that by itself is too much. So it appears to me that you're leaving out some context in which she's overstepping boundaries or he doesn't have any for her. Because a weekly visit just means, okay, your mom's coming over. Cool. Tell her I said hi. I got to go out with, pick your girlfriend's name, do the something, get a hobby. You probably, if you draw. If you listen to music, go meditate, go be with your family. Like, I don't think that people valuing their parents is the same as being a mama's person or a father's person, daddy's person. I think it's important to make sure that we're distinguishing unhealthy relationships and or unhealthy boundaries from people who are just committed to maintaining their relationships. Sometimes we can't fathom why a person would want to spend that amount of time with their parents because we're annoyed by ours. Um, and maybe that person intimidates you. Maybe that person doesn't show themselves to be an ally of you. So it feels like this is more adversarial a visit than it is. I think that it depends very much on the conduct of that behavior and the way the mom either respects or disrespects, if she acknowledges or doesn't acknowledge, if he has boundaries or doesn't have boundaries, if he's allowing his mom to interfere in the relationship, or if he's telling the mom all of your secrets as a couple. That's mama's boy stuff. But him just visiting with her for long periods, you only get one mom, man. You know, you only get one mom. And if his mom was a good mom and she made him feel valued and taken care of and protected and concerned and all of the different things that I know people feel from parents when they're growing up, that I felt in spurts. But my mom dealt with addiction, and even with my mom's addiction, as she cleaned up and as I got older, I still try to do what I can do for my mom. And I don't spend hours and hours and hours with her every week. She busy. She won't sit down. She be moving around. She taking old blind dudes around and taking them to church. And I mean, my mom is a servant, so she does all the things for a lot of people. But I would love to spend time with my mom, and I don't think a man loving his mom is bad. I think a man not being able to control the dynamic to such a degree that his mom is controlling the dynamic in his relationships is what makes him a mama's boy. So you've not described a problem that I think is insurmountable, or an obstacle um, that can't be taken care of. I feel like that can be worked out. He must be doing something else. Let me know. Lova, tell me something else that the brother's doing. Yes, no boundaries, she says. She's always in our business. He can't make a decision without her input. I have a great relationship with my parents, but um, his mom, I'm sure his mom his mom thinks she's his man. Okay, that's problematic. Um, but that's not his mom. That's him. And to your point, he's a mama's boy. You called it. Um, you need to set some boundaries in your relationship if he won't set boundaries with mom. And if he can't respect the boundaries of your relationship, then I would imagine that maybe the potential for the relationship to last in the long term is a little bit challenged. And so you need to set boundaries in the relationship about the sacredcy of your relationship. And he's your mom, and she's your mom, not my mom. And so she tells you what to do. She don't tell me what to do. She don't run nothing in my house. I'm the woman in my house. I'm the woman in my relationship, and she can be a spectator, but she can't be a participator. Like there are conversations you need to have with him, and if he can't respect those conversations, then you might have to make a different decision. But that's his lack of masculinity, to be quite honest, not being able to have his mom uh, respect his partner. And I don't like people, specifically men, who want to be, who want the respect of a leader and a head of household and all that stuff, and they can't make a damn decision without their parents. I think that's a little different. Love and respect to our parents, especially those who showed up. But man, I don't ask anybody for nothing when I'm making my decision, and I don't, and except for my wife's input. It's our decision because we're the team. Um, I feel like to a degree he's still putting himself in a juvenile place, and it's easy to be irritated at mom, but that's him. So to your point, it might not work out if he can't get a grip of that. But what you need to do is clearly communicate your issues and keep it non-emotional. Only state the facts and then state what your boundaries are, and the factual needs that you have moving forward as it pertains to that dynamic. But I wouldn't remove from them the hours they spend together. I would just make sure that the flow of information starts and stops with y'all, instead of mom needing to be getting input on y'all decision. Now again, he's still gonna respect his mom's decision, so you can't ask him not to ask his mom for advice, but you can ask him to keep your secrets and your issues out of it. And if he can't respect that, then you have a bigger issue than mom. Write me on Instagram, additional context if you want. Again, I'm at Kev Hick 24 on Instagram. And to Jay's point, thank you for all the super chats. Um, how do you make a man feel really appreciated without money or sex? Well, you don't. I, you shouldn't make a man appreciate it, but with money. So let's not put that out there in the air. Just put that back in your pocket. As far as with sex, if you men like words of affirmation, they like to be seen, they like to be appreciated. Some men like touch, so you don't have to have sex with him to give him physical affection if that's the thing that he really enjoys. Some people just like to be considered. Some men like very thoughtful gifts. Like I'm one who, if I get a thoughtful gift, that's the easiest way to make me cry is to give me a thoughtful gift that I know couldn't have been given to anybody but me. Um, I like hearing, or at least being seen and being recognized for what I am. My wife's really good at speaking power into me randomly. When she sees I need it, she'll look at me and I'll look a little down or stressed, and then she'll like give me the words of encouragement. She's really good at that. Um, even when we were starting before sex, like that's valuable. Being able to speak life into a man is a skill set that women don't put enough emphasis on anymore. Um, and it's not just women; it's the generation. Just like waiting for a woman's sex isn't the emphasis that guys have. Speaking power into a man is becoming a lost art. Um, I think that if you want to make him appreciate it, you have to get to know what his needs are. What is his broken inner child need? What was he deprived of as a child? Whatever that thing was, you give him that and you'll make him feel all the things. Um, so figure out what he missed as a child. What type of adult did he need around him as a child? Be that now um, around him. And I think that if you want to make him feel appreciated, considering what his intrinsic needs are will be that. So maybe he needs peace, and by peace that just means it doesn't mean conflict avoidance. It just means a kind word as much as a complaint, right? Sometimes it means a negotiation over an argument. Uh, Sometimes it means you're the calm in the storm, and when he comes home to you or he gets on a date with you, he has a stressful day. You give him compliments, you say the nice thing, you speak power into him, and you rub his back. It doesn't have to be sex. Remind him of who he is and what he's capable of. That's one of the easiest ways to make a man appreciate you. Make him feel supported. But again, I don't know him. I can give you more specific information if we talk. So book a call if you want to manage that relationship while you learn how to love your partner. I think I'm gonna get off of here in about 10 minutes, y'all. It's usually Friday night movie night. My wife and my 10-year-old son and I always get in bed and watch some kind of. We got a big king size bed. He likes to bring popcorn up here. We got a very very big. It might be 87-inch TV in our bedroom. We like TV, and so we have like movie theater night in our bedroom, and my son sits between us and watches popcorn. And so if they were planning that, I don't want to be an incumbent to that. So about 10:15, 10:20, I'll get off of here so we can watch the weekly movie. Even so, somebody said, how long should a person give themselves to date after a trauma experience? It depends on what their trauma is. I don't think every trauma experience deserves your time and you're sitting down denying yourself the opportunity of love. I just don't. I don't think that meeting people is inherently bad after some traumas. You can make friends, you can make acquaintances. You don't have to just sit still in the dark waiting to feel better, because sometimes the feeling better is mixing of new energies of experiencing new spirits, allowing yourself to resume life and create new life. That's what gets you over the trauma sometimes. It's not like you're rushing back into love, but you're not sitting on the sidelines because some asshole decided that they didn't recognize what you was worth, or some woman who was playing games didn't recognize as a man that you should be taken seriously. You don't give that person 6 months for you to sit in the dark somewhere in the corner crying and listening to Anita Baker. You go out there and you live life. Not to a point, to a degree. If you're traumatized and you're not functional, then yes, take time, regain function. But to your point, how long? It depends. If it's a long term relationship, you give yourself about half the time that um, the relationship took to develop. As long as it was under a year or two, give yourself 6 months. Give yourself 3 months. I feel like 6 months and 3 months are not 3 months. 6 months and 9 months are generally a good time, a good amount of space from trauma that really was rooted in love and not anticipation of love. So there's that. But I guess it depends. It's one of those things. Um, Jay said, never been cheated on. I never cheated and I never will be cheated on. So I don't think or wonder about that. Just saying. Yeah, it's not a good place for your head to be in. Um, I've actually been, I've had experiences where nobody tapped up my woman, but they was talking to her. Not my wife, but like my other relationships. Like I've had, like I had a girl like emotionally cheat one time, and then I had a girl like do something physically, but it wasn't like I guess you know, essentially tapped up, but that was like high school. Yeah, so I guess I've been cheated on before. Like I said, I don't really be going back. So once you do that to me, it's I'm pretty wrapped up on it. You sealed your own fate. I didn't do it, but you've been very fortunate, Big J. Um, Lova said yes, no boundaries. She's always in our business. He can't make a decision without her input. I already read that. How did I get back up here? Um, we've been dating almost a month. He didn't plan anything this weekend. Said he's going to work and we can see each other in the middle of the week. We talk every day and text on the phone. Should I be concerned? If you talk every day on the phone and you text, and the issue at the moment is you've been dating a month. He didn't plan anything. He's going to work, but he'll see you in the middle of the week and he talks to you every day. You're doing very well. Um, I always say this, and I know women hate this part of my advice, but it doesn't matter whose idea it was. I get so annoyed, and maybe that's just the man in me. Like, you know, I can only give you advice to the point that it starts to, like when rubber meets the road. I'm a man. I don't think that who made the plan matters as much as the plans themselves. Did you go? Did you have a nice time? Right? I get so irritated and annoyed, and I'm not annoyed at you, but this idea that if a guy likes you or cares about you, then he's going to be sitting around trying to make plans, building and drawing blueprints on how to figure out how to entertain you. Oh my God, that's some movie garbage. I don't have to. I'm not. And I'm not. We're about to sit around trying to figure out how to entertain a whole adult who could just say, I want to go here. I'm like, all right, let's go. Have a great time. I ain't got time. I'm not that guy. I'm not him. Okay. I'm not that dude. I can't. I don't even understand it. I'm almost vehemently against it. People say happy wife, happy life. I say happy spouse, happy house. You have to get to a point to where the thing that you want to do is more important than who's decided it and who planned it. This is it's you're putting yourself in a position to fail. And I'm not, and again, I'm not assuming this is your problem and thing. But you mentioned it, and I think it's worth women hearing. Just focus on having a good time when you get there, whoever planned it. If you enjoy spending time around that person and y'all truly have a great time, just enjoy yourselves. Don't sit around trying to figure out how to build pressure on a man's shoulders about planning and surprising and these romantic ideas that aren't the function of a relationship. It's a lot of romantic men's making plans, buying flowers, slapping the shit out of their women. And many of y'all are survivors. You know what I'm talking about. A lot of men are as romantic as they come, making plans and thoughtful and cheat. Not only are they thinking about plans with you, they making plans with other women they cheating about. So just put these things in perspective. If you're having great conversations, you're connected, you've been together for a month, you talk every day on the phone and you text, take the win. That's what I'll be talking about. Selectivity. You gotta allow people grace to be imperfect. If he's not the most thoughtful plan maker, but you can think of something better, then think of it. Now, if you can't think of something better, then how you gonna put it on his shoulders to think of something better? If you know what you want to do, you know what you like to do with him, then do those things. If you got time and effort and energy to sit around thinking about what plans he should be making, you might as well just make the plans. As long as he pays. If he's not gonna pay, then he ain't gonna. That might be a problem, but damn. And so that's might not be terrible. That might be terrible advice to the ears of a woman. But as a man, I vehemently disagree with this idea that if it doesn't come from my mind and it comes from your mind and I'm not romantic, it doesn't count and we're not good and you should be worried. That's just foolishness. People's minds don't work like that. I'm a Some people are task oriented personalities. I'm not a task oriented personality. I'm an existential thinker, right? So I'm always in the clouds and the spirits and the philosophy. That's where my mind goes when it's wandering. It's not on. Let me call this place and make a reservation so my wife can be happy. No, I show up every day. I am who I say I am. I'm faithful. I'm a great father. I'm a great husband. I rub her back for hours every day, I feel like. I rub her feet. I rub her back. I rub her shoulder. Oh my God. I do all the little things because I damn sure ain't going to be making plans. I ain't doing that. So there's that. And I buy flowers randomly and occasionally. So I don't know if that helps, but try to just experience the goodness of your relationship before you critique it with some of that stuff that belongs in romantic movies. And I'm not trying to put a pin on you as an ungrateful woman. I just want you to put everything into perspective. What's the overall package? The totality of what you're experiencing. Is it good, bad, positive? Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. Can that happen in the conversation? Absolutely. Should you be worried though if you're talking to a guy every day, especially if you're hearing his voice on the phone? Probably not. Now, if you just text and he's putting you off and he's been putting you off, that's different. But making plans and putting a woman off are two different things. Sorry, I really could use help. I'm crying. Kristen Judd, write me on Instagram. If you having problems and you crying, I mean, yeah, if you ask a question, I'm gonna be on here for 8 more minutes. I'm getting off at 10:20. So, Christian Judd, if you have a question, you can ask it, or you could write me on Instagram at kevhick24 and ask me. I don't mind. Why guys give the silent treatment in the beginning of the get to know them? That's them trying to feign masculinity, strong but silent, the strong silent type. They might have got him some tail one time, and he's gonna do it to death until it stops getting him tail. Other times, men don't like you or don't trust you, and so they don't want to expose anything. And sometimes men who don't respect women don't feel like they need to talk to them or answer questions or do anything. So sometimes it's a display of their resentment or disdain for women. So you got to be careful. It just depends on the context of how he's using the silent treatment. If he's just refusing to answer your questions, then that's him trying to tell you that he didn't answer to no woman. That's a different level of narcissistic misogyny. I would stay away. Um, why narcissist men that been in a long relationship with you doesn't like you give back your doesn't give you doesn't like you doesn't like to give back your belongings when you want in a relationship. Well, a narcissist is always going to try to make you suffer for removing them from your life. A narcissist is never going to go quietly without trying to make you feel something. So, keyword narcissist, they want vengeance. If a man is keeping contact with his ex after a 4 year breakup, does that mean he's eventually planning on getting back together? Um, it's very likely. It's very likely that it might not be a chance that they get back together, but they're not done with each other if they're still talking to each other after 4 years. I feel like you can be friends with your ex, but they can be friendly. They don't want to be best friends with your ex, still trying to maintain new relationships. Christian just said, "What's your Instagram tag?" I never use Instagram at kevhick24 at kevhick24. So at KEVHICK 24. Why won't he commit to me because I have a child, but still make sexual advances? Because he just wants to have sex. He's not committing to you. If he told you he's not committing to you because you have a child, you're never going to not have a child. So now he's low key kind of disrespected your child and he's just telling you you're a hoe to stick it in. Why are you still in contact with this gentleman? He's saying, I won't commit to you. I'll smash. I'll be your maintenance man, but you got a kid and I don't want to date a girl with kids. He's essentially saying you're a hoe to stick it in and screw your kid. And you know, again, I know people get lonely, but at some point you have to respect yourself. And letting a man even have time around you when he's telling you that he's not going to commit to a woman who has kids and you know you got a kid is dangerous and foolish because he's going to have you twisted. He's going to have you upside down, crying, tripping, going crazy, and you will be taking energy that you would have been given to your child and giving it to this man who never even saw a human in you. And he's already told you he don't want to commit to you because you have a kid. Believe him and move on. Get far away from people like that. Because he ain't gonna get away from you because he know you want you. He know you want him, and eventually you're gonna be butt ass naked with him because you want him. So all you gotta do is stay still and keep being disrespectful but sexually aggressive. It's not a hard like it's really not that hard for men to figure out how to use women because you make it so easy. You won't go away when a man tells you the bad news. And again, no disrespect to you, 100%. But I'm upset for you. I'm upset about you, and I need you to be upset enough to leave a nigga alone when he tells you that he don't want to commit to you because you have a kid, but he still wants some ass from you. I'm getting tired, y'all. Hear the verbiage, the articulation is disappearing, and now the project baby is coming out. You get off me. I'm too tired. All right, 4 more minutes. Um, all right, yeah. What see, Jay said that's facts. Um, and Christian does just said thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Uh, yeah, I ain't trying to be rough. I just you gotta just handle people how they handle you. What's your Instagram tag? I never use Instagram. kevhick24. Like I said, and some of y'all might need calls. I do hour-long calls. I think my wife, if she didn't do it today, maybe she did it. I think she might have put hour and a half calls on there too. But if not, I do hours. I do video calls and I do hour and a half calls. I'll put those on there this weekend if they're not already on there. And yeah, we just let's do that. If you got to talk, if you need a call, they're on sale today and tomorrow this weekend. $75 for an hour call. I think it's $90 for an hour video call. Uh, yeah, get coaching if you need it. I have memberships on there. People pay monthly. I think a membership for unlimited texting every month and calls and it's one call and unlimited text messaging every month. I think it's 169. So you get an hour long call and you can text message me as much as you want and or voice note me as much as you want throughout the month, and I'll respond. That's just 169, and so that's very affordable for the amount of talking that happens in those. Some people prepay their call. They get their call $79 a month. They prepay and they save on that $90 a month. That's a membership that's on my site as well. Um, then I still do like the coaching programs, the 3 month coaching programs for people who have the budget for it. So if you need coaching, get coaching. If not, man, I'll probably talk to y'all tomorrow. I'll be honest. I'm about to ramp this content up because I'm working a job right now. It's a good job. It's a 6 figure job or whatever, but it is. I just want to work for myself, yo. To be honest. So I'm doing my thing, and I'm about to be going hard on trying to build this another other platform. So please hit your notification bells. Watch these videos when they come up. Please start to support these videos, these lives, all of this stuff when it comes up because I need y'all to help me build this other platform that's more favorable to the algorithm. I also need you to help me get this app up. I'll be making that announcement soon, within the next week or two. So I'm really looking forward to that. But it doesn't have a chance of surviving without the first 10,000 users. So I really need everybody sharing it, and then I'll be giving you the information on it. I'll be letting you know what's going on. It's going to start on iPhone. And then once we get viable on iPhone, we'll get Instagram. So I mean, Android. So Android will be coming soon, but the initial release is on iPhone. So I'll need a lot of help. But like I said, love. I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all listening. I appreciate y'all talking to me. I appreciate the super chats. This was a much more a much more successful live than I assumed I'd have after 5 or 6 months of not being online. Um, so I'm really excited about the viewership I got over here, even though it's only a tenth of the viewership I used to average. I'm excited about having up to 50 something people watching. This was a good one, which is crazy. That's how far I've fallen on this algorithm. But I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good night. I'm about to watch this movie with my son and my wife. All right, y'all be easy. Let me figure out how to get off of here. I don't wait. I gotta make sure I got all the comments. Oh yeah. All right then. Y'all be cool. Oh, and thank you so much for still being a member, AO Dale. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. I looked at it and I seen I still got like a handful of members, even though I ain't been on here. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all have no idea how much I appreciate y'all. So like love and respect. I'll be on here. Somebody said, "What happened with your financial coaching?" Okay, so I got into insurance instead of financial coaching. So right now I'm in insurance, and I didn't do the financial coaching because they couldn't get me. I couldn't find a salary position that started with a base salary that was reasonable. They always want you to start from commission, and I was gonna do commission because my channel and everything was doing really well. But then when my channel started to kind of crash out, I needed a salary if I was going to be doing a job. I couldn't just do it for free. But before, when my channel was getting a lot of views, I was making enough money that I didn't need a job at all. So I was just going to do the job for free, for all commission or for nothing, and just kind of build it. But my channel started going down at the same time I was doing my training, and it was just like I'm gonna need like stable income if I don't want to mess up my whole financial thing. So I just end up before I took my test, I was like a week out from taking my test. I was like, man, I don't think I want to do. I still know the stuff, right? But I don't think I want to work for free and 100% commission in order to build my brand, because at this point YouTube is not doing what it was doing as far as the paycheck every month. I was chasing what I would have really liked and really enjoyed, but it would have started from zero. And when my YouTube started going down, I was like, I don't need a zero paying job with just commissions that's going to take me 2 or 3 years to really build up. I need money. I need a salary. And so I took an insurance job with salary instead. That's why I didn't do the financial coaching. But I was right. That was like a week out. But my channel just started going down, and I was like, I don't know about this. And I'm glad I did, because my channel went to kaput. Like it is terrible. So maybe I'll look back into that when I can get this monetization stuff going. But even so, I know the stuff. I got the training, and I could take the test and pass it today. Take the 3 tests. I was studying for Series 663 and 7. And so, you know, maybe in the future I'll do that. But I'd rather do my nonprofit and help people in that way. Even so, love and respect. I'll get with y'all later. Come back, see me. Come back, see me tomorrow. I'll be back on tomorrow.